the PLA,
சார் மறுபடியும் வெளியே வந்துட்டேன் சார்.
So, for example, no hazards in raw material sourcing. For example, recently I think I saw the news. I think in Visakhapatnam there's a styrene explosion. There's so many people. There's a hazardous starch and those kind of. So in extracting the values, there is no hazardous sourcing. Pipe you not necessarily depend on the petroleum paste, because the petroleum paste plastic, the price is going to be reduced. So and every the market, the bioplastic market, when you're upscaling, so the come down petroleum based material, and so that like for so many everything. In case of reduce the green gas emission, and another one is the when you bio-based material, there is an option that it can go biodegradation and recycling opportunities bio-based, because there are a lot of agriculture farms in India and African areas. There is but because of the bioplastic, there's opportunity. They can utilize the materials for the high valued. For example, if you're cultivating rice, you can take out the byproducts. You can utilize for plastic application. So that's going to give a good premium. Is going to give a value. New industry. Other sector, the biorefinery. So it's going to need new jobs to the people, and new industry is going to come. And so many sectors from so many sectors going to come, and also there is when on that there's the toxicity, any chemical toxicity is given very low compared to petroleum paste. So there
We are extremely sorry YouTube live streaming participants. In order to put attendance link and certificate link, we have tried feel very sorry for that. The live streaming has been started successfully, and it's happening right now in the live streaming at the channel provided in. The description box contains all the 3 links. You can refresh the page and directly go to the description to find the provided link. So certificate documentation, so please find the links in the box. Thank you, viewers, and once again we are very sad and we are very sorry about the YouTube live streaming stoppage. Please bear with us. Thank you so much. The link has been provided in the description box. Please kindly find the links in the video description box. During form filling, the certificate generation link, please be careful, because how you are filling up the form will be appear in the certificate. In the form there is an instruction given, so please read the instruction and then start filling up the certificate generation link. Thank you so much.
Other economic products, there's a lot of innovative. Earlier, there was a structural application from the algae bioplastic is coming. Is going and is helping from the waste material to many advantages. So there's a lot of economic impact. So another one show that already I shared. So how you define the bioplastic? But if you take the material from the biological sources, such as plant rather than the fossil fuel, you can define it as a bioplastic. The value proposition of this bioplastic is you're taking the material from sources that you are not depending on the non-renewable. So that is the value proposition of the bioplastic. So another important, so you can think what kind of material, like if I want to make a bioplastic, what kind of feedstock I need it. Do I need it? Is something starch and any organic? Like your plant that is even a non waste, gas, waste materials, and even your organic food waste also you can utilize it. Organic waste also you can utilize, and you can take into the biorefinery. The biorefinery is called, you're taking the value of the chemicals, the bio, and you are changing the molecules from that biomolecule. You have to use, you can go it for bioenergy or biomaterials and biochemicals that you can utilize, and you can develop more products. And the end of life option is advantages is be recycled. For example, I don't want to. I want to reuse it. I want to multiple time. I want to, if you have a PLA and I want to use it again, I want to use 10 times. You can you can crush it and you can reform it, and you can do it like how your thermoplastic works. So it 100% is mechanical recyclable. But if you are mistaken, you don't want to use and you want to put it to the environment like a compost or even marine water, it is going to, it's called composting. Sorry, for example, in European countries, what they do, they have a closed system. Like your organic waste, your kitchen waste, put to the compostable bag, material, your cutlery, all the material together with it, and they operate to 60 degrees Celsius with a proper humidity condition. It makes like a compost. That compost is an organic manure. So if you can use that as a compost into your soil, that can help enrich the soil. Also, you can utilize is a fertilizer. So that also it has advantages. So another one I want just to show that plants itself, you can take cellulose, starch, cellulose, lignin, oil. From that, you can come to so many varieties: cellulose, acetate, polyhydroxyalganate, polylactic acid, polyphenolate, peat. So many plastic we can develop it. So here, what's the difference? So so when you think about when you talk about bioplastic, there's a two-way. You should not mingle with all the bioplastic is biodegradable. It's not, because the biodegradable polymers depending on the chemical configuration. For example, polylactic acid, it has a ketchup backbone. So that it has a contains biodegradable, like how your starch how your cellulose it's called water soluble polymer. You can call it as a water soluble polymer. It can be biodegradable. For example, if you take polyethylene, the same polyethylene is also different from the sugarcane, but the chemical structure is a carbon backbone polymers. So it still is not non-water. But the sources is comes from the plant sources. The way you can from the using the name, you can differentiate. You can develop bio-based, non-biodegradable, biodegradable material. You can develop it. They will ask, is that bioplastic a solution to the plastic pollution issue? For example, I'm using biopolyethylene for my career package. Is going to affect plastic pollution? The answer is no, because you're taking from the plant sources. The biopolyethylene or petroleum-based polyethylene, the chemical structure are going to be same. That is so. What you need it. That is going to be is the biodegradability a solution to plastic end of life? The answer is so. If you develop material that has a biodegradable character, you are properly labeling, and you have to be verified. You have to be tested. If you want to be, I want to be compostable polymers. You test it. Whether is how long is to take it degrade in soil, in compost, or it takes the same. Is going to pick up chemical concentration of the class terms in temperature is 50 to 60 degrees. So you can degrade only the industrial composting condition. Landfill 25 ambient temperature, so it does not degrade. So when you have when you see says it is 100%, but it's not degradable in soil condition or compost, but it actually is biodegradable in industry. So properly label it. So the Amazon has to pay $1.5 million to Seattle, the California plastic company. So when you want to perform that material, you have to properly in the international. For example, in India, there's a secret. So before you saying that my material is based, you have to send it to them, and they have to take it, and you have to verify. Then they give a logo to use. Then you can mention my material is biodegradable. That is helps, because that one in the printing, that materials comes from the plant sources. So yeah, I can put it in this specific environment. So, recently there was a study. They also claim is a biodegradable material. What they did, they put it to the marine water. After 3 years, he took the bag again. He you said it is 100% is biodegradable. I put into the ocean for more than 3 years. It's not degradable. Information to properly which standard method, which environment degrade. That is a very important and the claims. So I designed quickly for soil biodegradable. I want to agriculture modeling. Agriculture. It's not nursery. The plant, the sheet. Plastic means it can dig soil. It helps it's soil as well. Also, the labor cost after I have to collect into the landfill or something. So the bio help, but if you don't have proper claims, That is your whether your material is biodegradable in soil or specific condition will be issue. So it has to be tested properly, and you have to and it has to be validated test. Then you can claim is your material is biodegradable. So there's also there is called another additive biodegradable plastic. What they are doing is you have a polyethylene and there are some additives like some 1% some heavy metals they are mixing with the polyethylene. And what is happening? Exposed to the sunlight because of and microplastic. So what is happening? Degrading, but actually it's not biodegrading. Difference between degradation and biodegradation. The chemical chain is breaking down, is going to eat the, that's called biodegradation. So people think that the degradation is the biodegradation. No, is the microaccumulation is the biodegradation process. So actually additives is just breaking down into smaller pieces called microplastic. So that is going to be a very big issue. So now more than 250 countries, I think, the ban the use of oxo additives, additive technology. They're only supporting the proper within 6 months. It has and also you can't visually you can't differentiate is climate. So this is just I want to show you some of the slides. So there's a composting plant. It's called oxo degradable plastic bag. So it's fragmenting. It's smaller degrading, but actually it's not degrading. So this is what they tested in USA. So so there is an international. So just I want to show that how the labeling works. Each country it has a own labeling. For example, I'm exporting. They will verify that the products and verify whether is biodegradable. Give a certificate. It's on the Indian side only you can be able to sell it. Still, each has a own standard and certificate. It has to be verified. So to address this issue. So another challenge to go to the challenging the bio-based materials. Polylactic acid, starch-based polymers. How to process into product. It's not easy because it has so mechanical properties and low thermal properties. And if you want, that is the is 3 to 5 times expensive than the normal polythene and everything. If I mix with conventional, contaminate the recycling industry. So this is very big challenging. So to address this issue, there's a lot of research is going around the world. So I want to show that what's the success story happened in Italy. So what they done it in 2007, the plastic ban. So only the lightweight materials, but it's single use. It has a lightweight material, single use. That is not that material is not economically possible for recycling. So those items they ran it, and what happened? They were trying to use those kind. This 94% of Italian people have supported. They put a separate bin. So like how you are, your crossing dustbin, different dustbin. As I shown the ban, the brown, they introduced a new ban. So it means you can connect with your kitchen waste and everything to biobased bioplastic products. So your cutlery and the tear back and everything. You can put it. The municipality facility and form it and it will make a fertilizer. So that is the way it is going to help. It has been in Italy. So from this initiative, value chain is created. For example, already the sugarcane industry. So they want the biomaterials for bioplastic production. Cultivation was growing, and the people utilize the agricultural products. Okay? And it was imagine the agricultural production as industrial production also, it was growing simultaneously. So it created a new opportunity. The new plastic industry. It created the same concept. It was implemented in countries, including India also. Same way, introduction of bioplastic industry in India. So the opportunity that create and the manufacturing sector, the new manufacturing sector. They make so many products. So from that, so many technology, so many product industry can come, can create a new economy. That's the bioplastic industry is growing. So what we are doing is we are using various raw material from your if you are sunflower oil, the remaining the byproducts you can still utilize for the pipe. And similarly, maize after corn starch, extracting the byproducts, the stalk and everything that you can utilize it. It's a very cheap material. It's the value. And also sugarcane. Sugarcane after sugar, the byproduct, the stalk and everything, you can still bring you. We want to try added. For example, the sugarcane currently, you know that burning into energy is a low value. It's not a creating value. So utilizing mainly sugarcane gas and maize agriculture waste material. We are extracting slow starch and other liquid it, and through the various fermentation process and plastic. From the bioplastic we design material. It's very important. If you want a flexible piece, elongate we are currently doing it. The value of bioplastic, we are taking to the extrusion, blown flame, mold, and from that the CSIR will transfer the plastic from so many applications, both plus that is a main the single using it for. So what we found that what we developed it has a good mechanical properties. How your polyethylene plastic, it has a good mechanical property, and also it can be a normal. You can use that the CSR bioplastic pellets. You can use it, and what we found that, and also we have designed the material. Even if we put it to the landfill, or if we home compost or industrial combustion, it should be going to be a kind of valuable. So mechanically, basically, I don't want to degrade. I want to recycle it. But also on the materials, what we utilize there's no chemical added, so it can go so many packaging application, flames, bags, and crates, the multi-film, and I want to say the crates. For example, India is one of the exporting from various European countries and American. If you, for example, if you bioplastic based package, so there is no you're reducing the carbon, so you're not going to pay any carbon tax. So actually, it's going to help your export business. So similarly, Africa also, the packaging we are currently developing a product for exporting business as well. So just I want to show that also we have CSIR. We are saying it is the material that is 100% because facility as per the international standard, proving that the materials 100% is biodegradable and the bioplastics is being degraded in rainwater. So what you see then after 60 days, that plastic becoming more greenish, the bacteria is in seawater. So soluble is a more the is going on that is degrading. So what we are see when you prove in a concept, the more show the CO2 evolution. For example, if you are doing aerobic condition, you have to show the CO2 evolution result. Or if you are doing in anaerobic condition, you have to show the biogas, the methane gas production. So that is the evidence you have to prove that your material is biodegradable. So this is living in soil condition after 9 days is completely biodegradable. So what we found that have a different soil, compost, freshwater, marine water condition. The compost condition it degrades bioplastic, caprolactam. So these are the biopolymers. If you put in industrial composting condition, within 1 to biodegradable. But in the case of soil, freshwater, and marine water, what we found that because of the microbial colonies is very low amount compared to the composting condition. So we post the mechanism how is it degrading. So for example, if you have polyvinyl alga, the backbone polymers, how your rubber, natural rubber. So the degradation process it needs oxidation process. Material, polysaccharide, your starch, cellulose. Polyester, it is you need a hydrolysis process, hydrolytic degradation process. So here can degrade direct impact on the localization. For example, you don't import the material from overseas. You can utilize your locally available expansion, and also through through this way that is a new industry going to come. So new income, a new job they can create for both agriculture sector. It's going to reduce the plastic pollution, environmental, and decrease the greenhouse emission. Better waste management option for the cleaner environment also is possible. Right. So we are getting there is some environmental different technology from South Africa, bio option, and also from there are some project. It's also the University of Pisa from Italy, and Itiagen University, IIT Madras, and Alagappa University. Supporting.
Thank you very much for your very nice presentation related to our application of bioplastic and to commercialize the bioplastic. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you very much, sir.
On behalf of the organizing committee and on behalf of Alagappa University, especially on behalf of the Biopolymer Research Group, wonderful presentation. Thank you very much. I specifically Honorable Vice Chancellor and other authorities of renewable resource for utilization, and I am very much who is a fellow organizing secretary of this webinar series for his tremendous support, and I thank all the participants, and I thank all our research scholars and friends, those who are working technically in order to complete this webinar. Thanks, Kamala.
YouTube participants, YouTube live streaming participants, for your patience for whatever happened during the live streaming program. There was some error while we are putting a link in the description box. Once again, I am writing on behalf of organizing committee, on behalf of Biopolymer research group. Live streaming YouTube as well as a Google Meet. That the attendance link, the certificate link, feedback link has been provided in the description box. Description box can be found below the video, or else if you can't able to see the description box, you just touch the arrow mark button, bottom arrow mark button very nearby the video, where you can able to see the description box in which we have added. One is for certificate and another only attendance. After confirming the attendance, and we are so happy to have you all in this live streaming webinars. We are so proud about your presence, and once again we are apologize for whatever happened during the live streaming errors. Thank you. Add in the links in the description. Please find the links in the description, and I thank all of you, and request all the YouTube participants to stand up for the national.
शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य